divine light of the self. Welcome all of you for today's satsang on Chandogya Upanishad. Till yesterday, we covered 6th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad. First 5 chapters we did not take up. It consists of various Vedic upasanas. 6th chapter is considered as a very crucial chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, which deals with the core of Vedanta, which is brahmasatya, jaganmithya, jivo brahmaiva napraha. That 6th chapter we covered. So 6th chapter was a conversation between the sages, Uddalaka and Shvetaketu. 7th chapter we are taking up now. 7th chapter is a conversation between the Guru, the sage Sanat Kumara, and his disciple Narada. Who is Sanat Kumara? Sanat Kumara is considered as a great teacher, one of the Manasa Putras of Brahmaji. He is considered as a universal teacher. Narada is Devarshi, means is a human being born in Devaloka and he became Rishi. So Narada one day comes to Sanat Kumara and does namaskara to Sanat Kumara. Hey Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the way they address master. I have studied in Gurukula. I have studied in all the subjects. Still I feel I am missing something in life. I am feeling not fulfilled. There is sorrow in my life. Please help me and guide me. Sanat Kumara said, asked Narada, Narada, what all you have studied? Narada says, I have studied all the Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, Upavedas, Vedangas, Shiksha, all the subjects which they teach in Gurukula, I have completed. But still I am not feeling comfortable. I am not feeling fulfilled. Sanat Kumara says, whatever you have studied in Gurukula is apara vidya, means lower level knowledge, including Vedas. Please understand, Vedas also apara vidya. Vedas are apaurushaya, but apara vidya. Because it involves karma kanda, it involves various practices. Still, it is apara vidya. Apara vidya means the teaching which is required for making a living. Narada, what you are missing is paravidya or atmagnana. Atmagnana is called paravidya. So it's in tradition in Gurukula that Gurukula focuses, the syllabus of Gurukula is aparavidya. They will not teach paravidya. Somebody wants paravidya, they have to approach a realized master and seek the teaching. Without seeking of the teaching of paravidya or atmagnana, atmagnana teaching is not given. If you remember, Arjuna seeks the teachings from Krishna, then Krishna gives the teaching to Arjuna. Arjuna also had gone to Gurukula. He had learned aparavidya, he had learned dhanurvidya, but paravidya he didn't learn in Gurukula. Atmagnana he didn't learn. Atmadana has to be learnt only when the seeker is ready, mature. He is seeking from a guru. Till that point, Atmadana is not taught. Same thing happened with Janaka Raja and Ashtavakra. Janaka Raja approaches Ashtavakra master and seeks Atmadana. Now Narada says, Bhagavan, please teach me Atmadana and why it's important. So Sanat Kumara tells Narada, what is alpa? What is limited? There is no happiness in life. What is limited, what is finite, does not give happiness at all. Instead of that, it gives sorrow, misery, and fear. What is bhuma? Bhuma means, the word bhuma is used here. Bhuma means infinite. Bhuma means infinite. Infinite alone gives real happiness. Finite cannot make anybody happy. There's only happiness, bliss in the infinite, in Bhuma. Bhuma also has two meanings. Bhuma means infinite. It's called Ananta. Bhuma also has another meaning called Ananda, bliss. That's why this section of Chandogya Upanishad is called Bhuma Vidya. Bhuma Vidya means about Ananda aspect of Brahman. The chapter 6 was about Sat or existence, pure existence aspect of Brahman. Chapter 7 is Bhuma Vidya or Ananda aspect of Brahman. Bhuma means Ananta, Ananda, infinity. So Narada, you are actually mistaking yourself as a body, mind, and intellect. That is the cause of your suffering. Realize you are Atma. Atma is Brahman, which is infinite. In that only, there is a happiness. Realize your true nature as Bhuma, means infinity. Recognize your true nature as infinity. You don't have to become that. You are already that. You are confusing yourself with the body. Drop that confusion. Identify with the infinity. Then you will be blissful. Alpe sukham nasti. What is limited? There is no happiness. Drop that limited. Is the teaching given by Sanat Kumara to Narada. So all of us are not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. The body, mind, and intellect is called anatma, matter, material, nature. Whereas I am consciousness, which is infinite. So we have to recognize Nanu, Nanembudu, Nanalla, Ideha, Manabuddhi, Nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivanannani, Shioham, Shioham, Shioham. Getting bored? Getting bored or what? Sachidananda Atma, Shivan, I am pure consciousness. That realization alone can give you eternal peace, eternal happiness. So no, then very good. I want to get experience of Brahmananda. That's called Brahmananda. I want to get Atmananda. Okay. How do I get it? How do I get Atmananda or Brahmananda? Sorry, you can't get it. You are already that. Atmananda or Brahmananda, you cannot experience it. The experiencer has to disappear. In deep sleep, experiencer disappears. You cannot experience Atmananda or Brahmananda. Then what is the point? So let me give an analogy. Atmananda or Brahmananda, the bliss of the Brahman, bliss of Atma, is your own nature. You cannot experience your own nature. You can experience what is not your nature. Other than what you are, you can experience. You cannot experience Ananda of Brahman because the experiencer has to disappear there. It's non-dual. Advaita. So let me give an example. Have you seen your face anytime? I want to see my face. Seeing is experiencing. I want to see my face. You cannot see your face at all. Nobody can see their face. They can see somebody else's face. Your face you cannot see. I want to see my face. Then what you have to do? You have to take a mirror and see the reflection. Reflection, is it your face? Reflection looks like my face, but reflection, I am not seeing my face directly. I am seeing it as a reflection in mirror. The only way to see your original face is to see a reflection. There's no way you can see or experience your face directly because it's what you are. Similarly, Brahmananda or Atmananda cannot be experienced by anybody. If you have to experience, experience has to disappear. Understand? But you can see your face in a mirror. Similarly, Brahman can see himself in the mirror of Maya. Maya is the reflection. The Maya is there as a reflecting surface for Brahman. So Brahman to see, Brahman means Ishvara to see himself. The Maya becomes the surface. Reflection. Can you experience Ananda, Brahmananda? You can experience Brahmananda when you make your mind silent. In that silent mind, Ananda of Brahman is reflected. The reflected Ananda is called Sukham. Ananda means infinity. Infinity gets reflected in the mind called Sukham or Santosham. You can experience Santosha or Sukha as a reflection in the mind. You need a mirror to see Ananda. What is the mirror? Mind which is silent is mirror. In that, you can see your reflection of Ananda. That's the only way you can experience Brahmananda. If you see mirror in the face in the mirror, oh, this is my face, you have to recognize. If you see happiness in the mind, then you have to recognize this is a reflection. My nature is happiness. That's how Brahmananda is realized. You can have a name of Brahmananda, Atmananda, Muktananda, Krishnananda, whatever Ananda. You cannot experience Ananda of yourself Because in the experience, experiencer has to disappear. It's non-dual, Advaita. When you experience it, it's only reflection which you can experience. Is it clear? So that's why people make the mind silent in meditation, more and more silent. In the silence, they experience, and it can go to samadhi also. In samadhi or silence of the mind, you can experience Ananda Brahman reflected. And from the reflection, you have to understand, this is my nature. Ananda is my nature. You cannot directly experience Ananda of yourself. Is it clear? Bhumananda, Ananda of infinity, cannot be experienced because experiencer is not there in that. But when you experience it, it is experienced as a reflection in the mind as a mirror. So people do not know in Adnana, they keep on looking for happiness in the objects of the world. I get a car, I'm happy. I get a job, I'm happy. The happiness they associate with the objects of the world. There's no happiness in any object of the world. If the happiness is there in the object of the world, same object should give happiness to two people, for everybody. Sugar gives a happiness to somebody. Sugar causes a problem for somebody with the diabetes. Sugar somebody doesn't like. The same sugar does not give happiness to everybody. So happiness is not in sugar. Happiness is not there in any object of the world. Then what is happiness? The happiness is the mind generating a lot of thoughts is called unhappiness. A lot of thoughts in the mind is called unhappiness. The more thoughts you have, more unhappy you are. Continuous thoughts, thought chain. And please understand, all thoughts are irrelevant. Continuously thoughts rise in our mind. Everything we want to know an answer. Why this happened? Why this happened? Without understanding that the thought itself is unreal. That unreal thought causes unhappiness. So let us say somebody wants to eat jalebi. He keeps on remembering what jalebi is, how jalebi is. I want to eat jalebi. I want to eat jalebi. That creates a thought. That creates a space of unhappiness. Then he goes and buys the jalebi and puts into mouth. Now I have become one with jalebi. Subject and object has become one. Subject and object has become one when jalebi is put in the mouth. The moment you do that, the mind becomes silent. When the mind becomes silent, mind becomes one with the Atma. Momentarily. And that absence of the silence of the mind, when mind has become one with Atma, the mind is, the thought is called mind is limited. Thoughts limit the mind. Thought limits the consciousness. Narrows. When the mind becomes silent, like wave has become one with the water, then mind comes up again because the desire is fulfilled momentarily. And that period, mind is one with self Atma. That period we call as happiness. Recollect what is your experience of happiness. When you are happy, you feel unlimited, boundaryless. When you feel happy, you feel timeless. So if you are happy with something, let's say a game or something, you don't know how time has passed. When you're happy, you are boundaryless. The meaning of that is when you are happy, the mind has become silent momentarily. And then mind comes up. But mind, there is no jnana. Why the happiness is there? So mind will say, I became happy because jalebi. So I experienced jalebi ananda. So associated with the object, it doesn't associate with the atmananda. It associates with the objects of the world, not the real subject, Atma. Ananda only comes from Atma. The happiness only comes from Atma. The reflection happens when the mind is silent and become one with Atma. Silent mind is one with Atma. So now the question is, the question asked is, the bliss is a reflection, it's not clear. How can bliss be experienced in reflection? Bliss is not experience. Bliss, the mind becomes silent. That silent state of the mind has become one with the Atma. The mind has lost its limitation. Mind gets limited with the thoughts. Thoughts cause suffering. Thoughts have disappeared momentarily. And thoughtless state, momentary thoughtless state is called Atma. Mind has become one with the Atma. So that we call as Atmananda. Mind is experiencing Atmananda momentarily. But the mind comes up. So then we say the Atmananda is a reflection in the mind when the mind has become silent. This reflection is a word used to communicate. Okay. Reflection is not unreal. Atmananda has happened when the mind has become, see, reflection or Chidabhasa is momentary. When the mind has become momentarily silent, that is called happiness. So that happiness is real. You have experienced it in jalebi, in coffee, in tea, in bhajan, in bhajanananda, bhojanananda, yogananda, various types of ananda you experience. That experience ananda is happiness is real. But it's momentary. Momentary because we are associating with the object. Mind becomes silent, but reflection is still there. How can bliss be there? The question is not clear. Mind becomes silent, but reflection is still there. How can bliss be there? The question is not at all clear. Mind becomes silent, that is called happiness. The bliss is ananta, but the same ananta is experienced by my mind momentarily for a shorter duration. So that's why it's called happiness. The name is given because it's a shorter duration. If it is experienced fully all the time, it's called ananda. But it is same ananda experienced for a shorter duration is called sukham or happiness. Okay. So mind becoming silent is mind becoming one with Atma. Mind loses its limitation. For all the Adnanis, they associate happiness with the objects of the world. Coffee ananda, tea ananda, all ananda, this ananda, brahmananda, bhojanananda, game ananda, all anandas, they'll experience. Okay. So they do that. But what happens with Gnani? Gnani has separated out Anatma from the Atma. The subject, the illusory subject, he has separated out. Now he knows I am the pure subject. Sakshi, Brahman. Sakshi or Brahman cannot experience Ananda because he is Ananda Swarupa, infinity. A infinity cannot experience itself. A finite only can experience itself. So then Sakshi with Jivatma experiences the mind its own nature as happiness momentarily. That he understood, Gnani. So now what is the difference between Gnani and Adnani? Adnani cannot experience Atmananda. Adnani cannot experience Brahmananda. Gnani cannot experience Atmananda. Gnani cannot experience Brahmananda. Then what is the difference? Difference is Gnani knows the Ananda, happiness which I experience in the mind is my own Swarupa. I don't have to find happiness in the coffee, tea, or milk, or car, or any object. My own Ananda is already there, always there. I don't have to get it. There's no desire to get Ananda also, because I am Ananda Swarupa. From reflection, he has understood the original. From Adnani, has seen the reflection, but he confused with the object. So that's why Adnani keeps on chasing the object. He will never find the happiness, because there's no happiness in the object. So that's the difference between Adnani and Gnani. So Gnani, everything which he sees in life, experiences in life, let's say he drinks a cup of coffee. Adnani says coffee Ananda. So Gnani says Brahmananda, because Ananda is coming from not from coffee, Brahman is coming. So Adnani does bhajan. So he calls bhajan Ananda. So Gnani says Ananda for bhajan comes from Brahman. So that's why Brahmananda is experienced as bhajan. So Bhojanananda. Oh, what a nice foodie. What a nice food. So North Indian food, South Indian food, jalebi, halwa. Wow, very nice food. Bhojanananda. So for Gnani, the Bhojanananda is called Atmananda. He does not associate Ananda with the object. Whereas Adnani always associates Ananda with the object. That's why he keeps on searching. So Gnani always associates Ananda with his own nature. His own nature he doesn't have to find. So his search stops for Ananda. His search for happiness stops. He is no longer searching for happiness. Doesn't mean that he will not get happy when he drinks a cup of coffee. He'll get it. But he knows coffee Ananda is Brahmananda. My own Ananda is coming as happy coffee Ananda or tea Ananda. So he understands every bit of Ananda is for Atmananda appearing, and the mind is subject and object become one. So Adnani and Gnani difference is Brahmananda cannot be experienced by Adnani or Gnani. In deep sleep we experience, but there's no experiencer. Gnani or Adnani in deep sleep or death they experience Brahmananda, but there's no experiencer. In Samadhi, the experience is there. In the Samadhi Sukham is reflected Ananda is there of Brahman. Reflected happiness is there. So Gnani starts learning, my Swarupa is Ananda. For Ananda, I don't have to do anything in the world. But if something happens, I feel happy. It's Ananda of Brahmananda only is appearing as object. So every small happiness in the world, Gnani says Brahmananda is appearing as that happiness.
But for Gnani, there shouldn't be like a difference between telling that this happiness I'm getting from coffee is Brahman. It's always continuously.
I'm saying continuously he is silent and serene. Doesn't mean that Gnani doesn't drink a cup of coffee.
So, no, I mean, he can drink.
I'm saying when he drinks, this subject called body and object called coffee becomes one. When that happens, some chemicals are produced in the body. That chemicals are called happy chemicals or whatever that. So he doesn't associate the happiness with the chemicals. He says, my Ananda is reflected. Okay. So that's not only that. For Gnani, his Ananda is his Ananda, and everybody's Ananda is also his Ananda. He says, I am everybody. So if you are happy, he says, I am my Ananda. Brahmananda is appearing. You are myself. Somebody else is happy, Ananda, my Ananda. Somebody else is happy, Ananda. Everybody is happy, anybody in the world is happy, my Ananda. So Ananda of anybody in the world, everybody in the world is called Ananda, is called Gnani's Ananda. Somebody is sorrow in the world. So Gnani says the sorrow is because of Adnana. For him, Jnana only is there. So his Ananda of Gnani is not affected by sorrow of the world. Sorrow is there because people associate Ananda, happiness, with the objects of the world. So Gnani does not associate Ananda with the happiness of the object of the world. Somebody sorrow, okay, he says Ananda is this because of Adnana. Ananda is my nature. So he doesn't get depressed or sorrow because of somebody's sorrow. But he claims the Ananda of everybody in the world. That's why he's called Brahmananda. He is not an individual. So that's where he is able to do service, compassion, love flows out of him. He will try to help others. He will try to make people happy because anybody's happiness is his happiness. Everybody's happiness is his happiness. Whereas Adnani, my happiness is my happiness. Your happiness is your happiness. His happiness is his happiness. For Adnani, happiness, he sees the duality. Gnani, he sees the happiness as non-dual. Is this clear to all? This happiness is called Bhumananda. Bhuma Vidya. Next class onwards, I will explain Bhuma Vidya. In Bhuma Vidya starts with 15 different types of Upasana. And then gives Jnana. Why the Upasana is there, why Jnana is there, I'll tell in next class. Bhuma means infinite. So who experiences Ananda in Samadhi? In Samadhi, Jivatma experiences happiness. Sukham, Jivatma.
Is it happiness or is it bliss?
The bliss or Ananda is infinity, which is only associated with Atma. Okay? The bliss you experience in deep sleep, but there is no experiencer. In Samadhi, there's a awareness is there. I am experiencing happiness is there because Samadhi is Jagrata Sushupti, waking sleep. He experiences happiness. And who experiences happiness? Jivatma experiences happiness. Is the answer clear? So who are asked the question? Who experiences the happiness in Samadhi? Somebody asked the question. Is the answer clear?
Yes, asked, yes, said yes.
Okay. So about Bhumananda, I explained. Bhuma Vidya is this chapter. Any questions are there? If there are no questions, we'll close this.
Guruji, Hariom, Guruji. So you
Hariom.
say that when there is a sorrow, the Gnani will know that sorrow is because of the ignorance of people or Agnani.
Right.
But why can't that happiness of people also can be considered as due to ignorance only? Even they are feeling happy because they identify with the body and due to some external pleasure they feel.
No. See, happiness. See, it's a recognition of happiness. Happiness. Adnani feels happy because of a cup of coffee. Coffee Ananda.
That is also in ignorance only.
In ignorance only. But Gnani calls that happiness as Atmananda.
For Gnani, it is everything is Atmananda. But when he he looks at the sorrow of people, then he takes it as because of ignorance. Why can't that happiness also be taken as due to ignorance?
He knows that happiness also ignorance.
Yes.
Happiness is closer to Atmananda. That's why he says it's Atmananda.
That's why. Okay.
Right? Sorrow is a mistake. So he says his sorrow is Adnana. Happiness is also Adnana. He knows. There's no Ananda in coffee, he knows. But he says it's Atmananda only is coming as happiness in the coffee.
Because people always look for happiness rather than sorrow. So not much of intervention is required when they identify. You enjoy anta.
I mean, he doesn't
Ignorance is
Happiness,
there. They have to be told like there is an ignorance.
there's ignorance, he is there. He will not tell ignorance. Okay, somebody drinking a cup of
Yeah,
coffee
yeah.
and getting ananda. No, there's a brahmananda, don't drink a cup of coffee. He will not say. He'll say enjoy. That's about Atma. Okay.
The Gnani doesn't want to snatch away the happiness from people.
No. He wants to give happiness to everybody. That's why he does service.
That is why he will also enjoy that happiness as Atmananda.
And when man drinks coffee also, his body will produce some chemicals, he'll feel happy also. But he knows the happiness is not coming from chemical or coffee, he knows from Atma only.
Okay.
But what is more important thing here, you have to understand, it is not about that. So Gnani associates happiness of the entire world with his associated happiness. That's why he is ready to serve the world, make people happy.
Yes.
That's one thing. Second thing is, he is fulfilled. My Atma Ananda, I cannot experience. I am the Ananda Swarupa. I don't need any damn Ananda in the world. His all desires are fulfilled. So he has no next life because he is already Ananda Swarupa. People take next birth because they want seeking happiness in next birth. Are we clear?
Yes, Guruji. Very much.
Hari Om, Prabhuji.
Hari Om Mani.
Prabhuji, reflected Ananda, exact definition in.
See, this word reflected, don't hang on that. Okay. The mind has a Chidabhasa. Mind is an object.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
The mind is an object. And there's nothing called mind. Mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. Thoughts appear and disappear in consciousness. When the mind becomes silent, what happens there? What is there? There's no mind. There's only consciousness. So momentarily that period is called Ananda, happiness. Now we call reflected happiness because the mind comes up again. So there's a duality comes up. That's why we have to use the word reflected.
So to indicate that there is a dormant ego. Is that what
ego is dormant. No? Ego comes up, no?
No, we are saying that it is there, but not Mano Nasha hasn't happened.
Manolaya has happened. Manolaya
so
happens.
to indicate that only Manolaya has happened, we are saying reflected.
Correct. Reflect means why we are saying reflect? Because there's a duality has come now.
Duality is only suppressed.
Duality
and it will spring up again.
Sleep or happiness, it gets suppressed. Sleep, samadhi or death, it gets suppressed momentarily.
Yeah, so because there is an experiencer who will spring up later, we call it reflected consciousness.
Correct. Experiencer comes up, that's why we call reflected consciousness.
Okay, thank you.
There's a question here. What is the question? Who asked the question? Anupama, you asked the question. What is the question?
Hari Om Guruji. We say that Jnani is not the experiencer, and he himself does not experience any, because he knows everything is mithya, it is happening. So what does he is in bliss means? Again, bliss actually relates to some kind of experience, no?
No. See, he is of the nature of bliss. Atma is nature of bliss. Okay. Now, that bliss, there's no experiencer possible. Because the moment experiencer is there, this is not duality. Right?
Okay.
So now, Ananda Swarupa, this is nature. That he has recognized that my nature is Ananda Swarupa. My problem was, I was identifying with body and mind. That is a limitation. That is gone now. Limitation is gone. Now I'll ask you other way, the question. Okay? Somebody had a toothache. Severe toothache. Pain was there.
Okay.
And he goes to the doctor. And doctor removes the tooth. Abba, relief. Now, relief is his natural state. Toothache was a pain. Correct?
Yes.
So by relief, did he get something? He went back to his natural state.
Yes.
So similarly, identifying the body and mind is like a toothache. We are going through pain. When the pain goes, there's a relief. We are not gaining anything. That relief is called Ananda. Understand? It's not a new experience. You are going back to your natural state.
Okay.
Right now, identifying the body and mind is called bhavaroga. It's a disease. The disease is gone. Then what is happening? I'm in natural state. I don't seek anything. I'm gone. The seeking is gone.
Okay, Guruji.
Right? So, anybody else any questions? Otherwise, we'll close for the day. Asatoma, Sadgamaya, Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma, Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamuduchyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Nanu, Nanembudu, Nanalla, Ideha, Manabuddhi, Nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivanandani, Shivoham, 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 Atmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Satyadarshanam, Antarjyotihi, Bahirjyotihi, Pratyakjyotihi, Paratpara, Jyotireva Jyotihi, Swayam Jyotihi, Atma Jyotihi, Shivosmiham, Lokaha Samastaha, Sukhino Bhavantu, Lokaha Samastaha, Sukhino Bhavantu, Lokaha Samastaha, Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Harihi Om. In 5 minutes, we'll start Kannada.